Have you ever found yourself nodding along to someone whose charisma and eloquence felt divine, only to later wonder if something was amiss? Stop. You might be following someone who's subtly steering you off the true path, and you might not even realize it yet.
Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that? Let me just ask you a really simple question. A lot of people think it's unbecoming for a preacher to live a life of luxury and to fly around in private jets. What's your response to that?
Very simple. It takes a lot of money to do what we do. Without the airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. And Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Well, my question then,
False prophets aren't always easily spotted. They often appear more convincing, more dedicated, and more spiritually informed than you'd expect. Whispering dramatically, they seem holy. But what if they're lying? The harsh truth is, false prophets have always existed.
She had polio and would never walk again. She and her friends say she just climbed out of her wheelchair and walked.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
That woman supposedly cured of polio. Pastor Benny knows it made for a great episode of his TV show. He knows it probably helped squeeze even bigger donations from his flock. But there's something he doesn't know.
That woman works for us. Woman doesn't have polio, never did.
Then why did she say she had?
We put her up there to see if he could tell her story was not true, to see if it would matter, to see if he would ever check. So, Benny, is it faith or is it fraud?
Skillfully disguising deception in the comforting cloak of religious language and appealing charisma. Recognizing the red flags. Before it's too late, you must recognize these signs. False prophets often exhibit telltale behaviors. Avoiding accountability. True messengers of faith willingly submit to spiritual and communal accountability. False prophets isolate themselves from scrutiny, responding defensively to questions about their teaching or lifestyle.
again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Cherry-picking scriptures, they focus heavily on select passages, conveniently ignoring context or contrasting scripture that doesn't align with their teachings. The one Bible verse every false prophet avoids? Matthew 7:15-16. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. By their fruits you will know them. Materialistic lifestyle. Watch carefully when prophets seem more focused on personal gain, luxury homes, extravagant cars, and lavish lifestyles, rather than spreading humility and charity.
Congregation is the world. I need the plane.
He says his jet allows him to better spread his message around the world, and it sure has taken him to some pretty nice places. 16 times to Hawaii alone since 2006.
I really believe that if Jesus was physically on the earth today, he wouldn't be riding a donkey.
Protecting your faith from fraud truth doesn't fear investigation, but false prophets do. Here's how you can actively guard yourself. Build personal scriptural knowledge. Regular reading and deep study of the Bible equip you to identify twisted truths. Pray for discernment. Ask God for wisdom and insight regularly. It's a prayer that's always answered. Lean into community accountability. Surround yourself with a trustworthy community that values transparency and honesty. Discuss teachings openly, encouraging critical thinking and respectful skepticism. Stories that teach, learning from history. Throughout Christian history, false prophets have risen and fallen. In every case, what exposed them was a vigilant community anchored deeply in Scripture and reasoned spiritual discernment. From charismatic cult leaders who twisted Scripture to popular televangelists caught in scandals, the pattern is clear. False prophets eventually crumble under scrutiny. Everyone believed them until this happened. The facade of righteousness inevitably shatters against truth.
Now, Oral used to fly airlines,
Right.
but even back there then, man, it got to the place where it was agitating his spirit,
Sure.
people coming up to him. He had become famous, and they wanting him to pray for him and all that. You can't manage that today.
Right.
This dope-filled world,
Right.
and get in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Right.
Final thoughts. I almost fell for this too, mesmerized by charisma until scriptural truth broke the illusion. Remember, recognizing false prophets isn't about suspicion or fear. It's about wisdom and preparedness. It's about safeguarding your relationship with God from manipulation and exploitation. Stay vigilant, stay prayerful, and always remember, protect your faith from fraud. Your spiritual journey deserves authenticity and truth. You have the tools. Now use them wisely.